You know, if there's one year in wrestling that really frustrates me, it's 2003, the Raw brand. Now, in 2001, they tried to do the invasion. You know, I enjoyed it, but most people were disappointed. We didn't get the full invasion angle, the dream matches we wanted. And then they tried it again in 2002. It was happening, but due to circumstances, Stone Cold walking out, Kevin Nash getting injured, they had to stop it, the whole NWO thing. So then it led us to the Triple H Reign of Terror, which lasted 3 years. Now, to rewrite 2003, what I would do, another thing that frustrates me is, Goldberg, he debuted the day after WrestleMania 19, correct? And Stone Cold, he had his retirement match with The Rock at WrestleMania 19. So, we could have had this Goldberg come in a little bit earlier and done the dream match, right? Right. Okay. But whatever. Now, let's talk about Triple H in 2003. Everybody complains, how he was the problem, which I agree, but it wasn't just Triple H. It was the whole Evolution stable. Now, don't get me wrong, Evolution was a great stable. It helped to get Batista and Orton to the top. And it was basically to keep the title on Triple H. Now, it was a good stable, but it's not what I wanted in 2003. What I wanted in 2003, I wanted an invasion angle. The roster was stacked. I wanted to see DX, something I missed, that I was really missing during that time. Now, if I could rewrite it, I would say you could do the Evolution thing, but towards the end of the year, 2003, I would have Triple H turn face and align with Shawn Michaels. And then have, DX versus Orton and Batista. And you can still keep them Evolution with Ric Flair. And maybe bring somebody else in with them, maybe Kane or somebody. Because after all, they built Kane to be this unstoppable monster in the second half of 2003. But they kind of put him in BS feuds and didn't really, it could have been better, So anyways, yes, I would have Triple H and Shawn Michaels reunite, after Triple H loses the title to Goldberg. Maybe bring in the other three guys, Road Dogg, X-Pac, Billy Gunn. And now we got DX, which, was very popular during the Attitude Era. And I think would have made the year a lot more exciting. But this is a year that they could have really capitalized and gave us, the dream matches and capitalized on the Attitude Era and gave us the real invasion angle. And so aside from that, Triple H, yeah, he was the problem in 2003. Another problem, I don't like what they did with Lance Storm. They did him dirty that year. I would have Jericho, after his feud with Goldberg, you can turn Jericho face in the middle of the year and have him team up, with his old buddy Lance. And to go against, Christian with Test. Because the whole tag team of Jericho and Christian, it really didn't do much for Jericho. It was kind of just helping Christian out. Jericho was basically, he was taking Edge's place, Christian's old tag team partner. But, Jericho, he had a lot of success in 2003 with his feud with Shawn Michaels, feud with Goldberg. And I think it was time to turn Jericho face that year. Well, that's pretty much it. Missed opportunity. 2003, the roster was stacked. You know, shoot, you could have brought back the NWO that year and had him go against DX. You could have brought back Hogan to Raw after his feud with McMahon, team with Kevin Nash, bring back Scott Hall, or maybe have Scott Steiner join the NWO, since they really didn't do much with Steiner after his feud with Test. He was pretty much watered down, but I feel they could have done more with him. But all right, let me know what you think. 2003, probably the last great year of wrestling. After WrestleMania 20, maybe it's the era I grew up in, but to me, that was the year wrestling really started to fall off. Thank you. Please subscribe.